Hello everyone, this is Crode giving you a shoutcast in a game between Czech Prime and Liquid Huck here on Metalopolis. Czech Prime spawning as the Red Zerg. I believe this to be a Korean BattleNet game. So yeah, Czech Prime spawning as the Red Zerg. Meanwhile, Liquid Huck spawning as the Blue Protoss here on Metalopolis at the 12 o'clock position. This is going to be close air spawns. And with close air spawns, this Overlord will quickly find his opponent. We'll see if the Overlord just does a normal scouting technique, or if it tries to hide itself off in this direction. I have seen the Overlord, instead of coming across this way, come into this location here and then try to get a little bit of a mineral scout instead of doing the full-blown pulling in and then trying to pull back. Liquid Huck most likely will be trying to set up. Yeah, he will be moving back with this probe. He will see this Overlord. The Overlord does spot it, and he pretty much knows that there's no reason to back off. Huck sees the Overlord now, and both players already know where the other player is, and this is the BattleNet version of the map because of the probe scouting off in this direction, which makes me to believe this is really a BattleNet game. Now, we should be getting in a spawning pool at some point. We'll see if he goes for spawning pool first or for a hatchery first. Hatchery first is a much stronger economic option, but the probe of Huck may be able to delay it, as we now see the probe finally stick its head in and take a look around. The spawning pool built along the far side there, and Huck does spot it. So Huck knows that it is not going to be a hatchery anytime soon. One of the benefits of spawning pool first is that by the time a Zerg player is really able to get up 300 minerals after laying down that spawning pool, the probe will not be able to really do that much in trying to delay it. Zerglings will already be out, and also a queen will be underway as well as the probe tries to sneak through, and oh, down to 5 hit points. An almost decent surround there, but Huck doing a good job of trying to mineral path, and he was able to mineral path his way in, and oh, delaying that hatchery right there. Huck just doing a great job of microwing, delaying the hatchery. You can see that the probe is already back up to 20 shields. As my daughter is crying in the background, absolutely cute in the morning. Yeah, she wants her mommy. Huck now getting in a cybernetics core as well, as it is going to be a pretty standard play from Huck. No, not too standard. He actually went for second gas first before second assimilator first before going for that cybernetics core. So I'm not sure if Czech does not know about this, and Huck going to be doing a very aggressive tech push in just a moment. We'll see if it's going to be a Stargate with Void Rays or if it's going to be Phoenixes. Only time can tell, as the one probe now going to be returning home. The Zealot is going to be holding position right there and being able to hold off a large number of Zerglings. You can see one Zergling will try to be and pop its head through, not going to be able to get any real ground at all. You can also see that the Zealot backing off there, as we see one Zergling activating this cell, Naga Watchtower. Spawning pool not yet researching the metabolic boost, not enough time, as a queen is being trained. One queen already making its way down to this lower ground hatchery, as a stalker getting that final shot off and able to take it down. The production tab, we are going into a lot of sentries now, so the second gas may have just been for a mass sentry play. Off of one gateway, you can train up 2 sentries a minute. With double gas, you definitely need double gas, as sentries are very gas intensive. The stalker now being a little bit greedy, I think, trying to take down that Zergling, and it looks like that Zergling will get taken down, and the metabolic boost may be completing in just a moment. No, the Zerglings and the stalkers move at exactly the same speed without that metabolic boost, so the stalker should be able to just start naturally regenerating those shields. And if the Zerglings chase any further, that is just going to be the death of them, as the Zerglings or the Stalker is going to have more than enough hit points on those, or enough shield points in order to fend off. Huck most likely will be getting the gateway here. He only has 3 production buildings so far, no robotics facility just quite yet. So Huck playing a very conservative macro style this time around on Metalopolis, as you can see that the Zerglings are going to try to do a nice decent surround and swarm. Won't be able to get that much damage off, as the Zerglings are just trying to hide on the backside. They're waiting, and those Zerglings are simply waiting for that metabolic boost to tick and complete. And then perhaps would have tried to surround that Stalker, but the Stalker, very, very smart, as the Zerglings now trying to swarm in here. Not going to be successful at all. Zerglings now running along the backside. Probes are coming in as well, as we are teching the tier 2 and now getting the level 1 missile upgrades. So level 1 missile upgrades now coming in as my daughter's behind me watching StarCraft 2 so intently. She'll be so good at StarCraft 3 when it comes out. And Zerglings coming back in over here. May get a decent surround on the Stalker. The Stalker may be in a bit of trouble there, yes. And now finally getting the surround there, sacrificing the Stalker for all of the Zerglings. So it did cost 5 force fields, but he was able to finish off all of those early Zerglings. Taking a look at the losses, 325 compared to 175. So yes, I guess that was a decent enough trade there. There were a lot of Zerglings there, as we are now running off of 4-gate production. Roaches are coming in. Glio Reconstitution should be coming in right behind, as we are getting spine crawlers on the front door. And now Czech really needs to establish a 3rd base around this time, otherwise he's going to be falling behind very quickly in this macro attempt. But we can see the sheer number of sentries and zealots making their way out. So this is a zealot sentry army composition that I'm very fond of. It balances out very, very easily. You can force field off against any roaches and Zerglings, and the Zealots are going to be your main DPS. We'll see what's going to be happening here, as are we going to get any true damage? And the force field should be coming down along this side, and now, yeah, really unable to sneak through at all of those units along the far side, and now going to simply walk up that ramp. That is going to be a problem if he's able to get up that ramp, and those roaches are not going to be able to come in from behind. Yes, there it is. There's a force field on the ramp coming in from behind, as the sentries are just having their way here. The roaches are now going to try to do a bit of a counterattack, as another force field there to replace the one that has been destroyed. And now Czech Prime desperately hurting. All those drones are trying to attempting to run away, but so many sentries able to just block this ramp, as the roaches are now once again coming in. We need to get some stalkers though. Without stalkers, you're not going to be able to deal any damage or against those roaches, as those roaches have decent amount of range. You can see the stalkers are once again in retreat there, and the building is getting taken down, perhaps going for the roach warren. Oh, drones now coming in to try to stop all of these sentries. So Huck doing a great job, and now another round of force fields. Roaches are burrowed though, so a nice burrow play by Czech, keeping his units alive. The roaches are now simply going to try to make their way in. They're in this one hatchery layer getting taken down by sentries, as the drones now coming in to engage as well. These drones now low on hit points, and the units are getting taken down both sides, as the roaches are trying to focus down units. And it looks like another round of force fields coming in. Huck's attacking forces will get destroyed, but the damage has been done. 2650 versus 2475, but really the worker count is in a different story. 32 probes compared to 28 drones. Both sides taking a lot of damage. We are getting into a robotics facility. An observer should be coming in shortly, as Czech now on the counter offensive, but he will have an uphill battle. These roaches are burrowed, so he may be able to force a game of whack-a-mole, allowing those roaches to regenerate, I believe, 5 hit points per second, which is a decent amount of regeneration. Those roaches able to just heal back up completely after, I believe, 2 minutes. The roach is going to engage, yeah, and able to snipe down one of those zealots there, and then perhaps re-burrow. Not quite sure why Czech is not burrowing those roaches, trying to get more life out of them, and now both sides engaging, and the roaches are just trying to battle it back and forth. And now there's an observer in the air, and the opportunity to attack to play whack-a-mole is now completely neutralized. Those roaches attempting to run away, and it looks like they will be able to do so. Army composition 1725 versus 2150. There's the burrow finally, as I mentioned, and it is about 5 hit points a second, as both sides are just trying to fight back their way. You can see 28 drones compared to 40 probes. It feels as though Czech Prime does not want to try to macro back into this game. He's trying to finish it off with what he expects to be a superior force. Level 1 weapon upgrades, as the roaches are trying to battle it, but with an immortal now, and the stalkers coming in. The stalkers are able to get off a couple key pop shots onto those roaches, and those roaches now just running away as quickly as they can. And now those roaches trying to find a good stronghold. But I think Huck with his superior micro and his very aggressive tactics there, able to get in a lot of damage. Even though he only got this one layer down to 1,000 hit points or so, he still did a lot of damage, cleaning up some of those drones. We are now going into a Hydralisk Den. The Hydralisk Den more there to counter the Immortals, as Hydralisks attack very quickly, have decent range, and are not armored. So those Immortals are not going to be as effective against those Hydralisks, and those Hydralisks are going to be able to deplete those hardened shields very, very well. Roach is on the move once more. An Overlord helps spotting that one pylon on the high ground. Down it goes. So we may get a little bit of a supply block by Huck. Huck now moving out with these Immortals, Observers, Sentries, Zealots, and Huck with the superior forces, the superior economy. Should be able to just trade armies very, very easily. However, we are going to perhaps see a bit of a flank here. No, but there's no natural defense here, so that's going to be a problem, as the main force is now trying to battle it out. Huck going to engage, drones attempting to run away. No force fields in time to stop any of these drones. As the Roaches are now pushing their way through, you can see that the main army is going after all of these drones. The drones with balls of gas and minerals in hand, attempting to run away, and they're going to be hiding down over here, as the Roaches now doing a bit of a base trade here. The Roaches going after the Immortals. There are some force fields in play as well. The Roaches just trying to battle it out, trying to finish off this last Immortal there. The Immortal getting in so much damage. And now the Sentries, meanwhile, the army of the Stalkers now returning home to try to salvage and save themselves against all of these Roaches. The Roaches are in a nice ball here, able to pick off a couple of those units, as the Stalkers are now reinforcing from the high ground. And Immortal coming in, joining on the fight, and both sides just dealing a lot of damage to each other. Zealots are inside the base, though. The Immortals should be able to finish off check. The Roaches engaging on the low ground, finishing off those Stalkers, but the Stalkers on the high ground will be able to just shoot at them really, really easily, with no Overlords nearby to just fight back there. So the Roaches, once again, trying to re-engage, will be able to get some damage here. The drones look like they are coming back and trying to fight off against all of these Immortals and Sentries, but there's the GG by check. So Liquid Huck taking this game here on Metalopolis. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.